Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. On this show, more stuff from the North American International Auto Show, including this particular machine, Buick's brand new Avista concept. Now, when I say concept, it's a little bit loosely done because if you look at the wheels and tires or the outside mirrors on this machine, it looks very close to production ready. Even though Buick says it just really wants to gauge the public's response to this particular machine. That being said, the only thing we know for sure is Buick is claiming that it's going to use the same V6 twin turbocharged out of the ATS-V that's making just a touch over 400 brake horsepower, and obviously this machine's going to be rear-wheel drive. But man, when you look at this thing, gosh, could you imagine this thing swooping around the city streets? It is a stunning looking machine. I think would fit quite well in Nissan's portfolio. So if you like it, yell loud enough and Buick may just build this machine. A vehicle that went from concept now to production is this, the LFLC concept. You may remember this from the 2012 Detroit Motor Show. Well, guess what? This isn't the LFLC concept. This is the LC500 from Lexus, the production version. Now this vehicle will get the same normally aspirated 5-liter 467 brake horsepower V8 that goes in all the F models inside of Lexus umbrellas. Now, they will come with a 10-speed automatic transmission and all the power is shifted through them rear wheels. Now, they're talking like this vehicle is going to start out at just a touch under 100,000 US, but you have plenty of time to save up those pennies because it doesn't go into production or into dealer showrooms until spring of 2017. Next up on the list, well, if you've seen this show enough and you know me enough, I'm a big off-road truck fan. And this vehicle ticks all the right boxes. To me, it's the star of the show of the North American International Auto Show. Nissan's brand new Titan Warrior concept. Now, right off the bat, this thing is 4 inches wider on all 4 corners, covering up the massive 48-inch rubber bypass for more reservoir shocks on these on all 4 corners. Means lots of up and down wheel travel with little foaming inside of those shocks to make them a little less effective. Now, the real trick of this machine, it's got tons of carbon fiber in it, including the grille structure, all the wheel arches. It's got a little cab spoiler on the back of it as well, all made out of carbon fiber, which means if this vehicle ever sees the light of day in production, a lot of those carbon pieces will be coming off. That being said, Nissan has said little to nothing else about this machine. Not what's powering it. There's a lot of talk that it may have the Titan XD, brand new Cummins diesel inside of it, but we have yet to hear anything official. But I have a great idea. What does Nissan have? Maybe the GTR's twin turbocharged V6? Yeah. Maybe making somewhere around about 600, 650 brake horsepower. Okay, maybe 500 would probably be just fine. But if they did that in this machine, I can't say yes enough. In fact, even if they didn't, I can't say yes enough. This thing looks amazing. Nissan, if you build this, I will switch my allegiance from that Ford Raptor to this machine. So we'll have to wait and see if this thing ever sees production life. But man, I couldn't be happier if they did. Next up on the list, well, you may remember this machine. You may even recognize these 3 fellows, which we'll talk about here in just a bit. The machine is the old Fisker Karma, now being used by the folks over at VL Automotive, who actually took out the hybrid drivetrain, did a little bit of work and magic on it, and put a 6.2-liter LS9 supercharged V8 6-speed automatic transmission right out of the ZR1 Corvette. Yeah, this thing is an absolute rocket ship. 0 to 60 in just under 4 seconds with a top speed of near 200 miles an hour. VL Automotive was actually started out by a fellow by the name of Gilbert Verriel and Bob Lutz. You may remember Bob Lutz. He was the head of Chrysler Corporation. He was also head of General Motors. Long time big gun inside of the industry. But you may also recognize the third guy, the guy all the way to the opposite side of the car. That's Henrik Fisker. Because guess what? He's on board with these guys. It's no longer VL Automotive, it's now VLF Automotive. And Fisker's right back with the old karma again, helping to sell this supercharged V8 monster. That being said, VLF Automotive and Hendrik Fisker showed off one of his machines. You may remember this vehicle. We talked about it in some of the shows past. Not to mention, we talked about it, the whole thing with Hendrik Fisker being sued by Aston Martin. This is the machine they were talking about. This is the brand new VLF Automotive Force 1. This machine is basically a rebadged Dodge Viper. I should say rebodied Dodge Viper. So it gets the 8.4 liter V10 that's already in the Viper. But they have reworked it. And it now makes 745 brake horsepower and 638 pounds-feet of torque. Talking about 0 to 60 numbers coming in just 3 seconds with a top speed that's supposedly possibly north of 200 miles an hour. Now, they did do some trick stuff. It's got a 6-speed automatic, which never was in a Viper. And there's obviously a lot of trick parts, including these one-off wheels, obviously the one-off body and whatnot. So they're talking like they're going to sell about 100 of these a year, possibly. That's what we're hoping that VL Automotive is going to be able to produce. And they're talking about a starting price of just a touch under $300,000. That is yet to be really made official as of yet. But what a good-looking machine, the VLF Automotive Force 1. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page and like us over there, we'd appreciate that. The link's down in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.